Welcome to the GE Renewable Energy Digital Webinar. My name is Andy Wang, and I will be your moderator today. Before we begin, I'd like to point out that this is a recorded session, and there will be a Q&A time after the presentation, and you can enter questions via the chat window at any time during the session. Today, we're covering an exciting topic on unlocking new opportunities in renewables through digital transformation. We have two excellent resources for you today, and I would like to take a moment to introduce them to you. Our first presenter today is Sanjeev Adala. He is the Chief Digital Officer for GE Renewable Energy. As CDO, he leads digital transformation for the renewables industry and ensures GE has digital business strategies, execution delivery, digital platforms, and commercial strategies to support customers. Our second presenter is Brian Case. He is the Digital Product Management Leader for GE Renewable Energy. Brian leads the product roadmap and delivers products that help differentiate our services business, solve critical customer pain points, and drive commercial growth of our digital solutions. And with that, I would love to hand it over to Sanjeev.
Thank you, Andy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us on our first webinar. We are living in very interesting times, especially in the electricity industry. If you see what's going on in the electricity industry is going through a transformation. It's going through a major transformation. This 100-plus-year-old linear model of electricity is being challenged as the rules of electrification are shifting. Distributed generation, renewables, smart grids, storage, and prosumers, and electrification are really accelerating the rate of change. If you look at some of the stats on the slide, there is about 5+ billion internet users, the IP devices, everything is going to be software defined. And everything is going to be connected going forward. And there is expected to be 400+ million electric vehicles by 2040 and about 800% growth in renewables business. And all these things are accelerating the rate of change. And by embracing digitalization, companies can really apply unprecedented insights, new capabilities, and innovative business models to capture enormous opportunity. And especially more in the case of renewables. Next slide. If you look at some of the mega trends, the digital trends that's really impacting the industry is being aided by advances in the key technologies and an abundance of data. One is the renewables growth. As more utilities scale wind, solar, reach grid parity, industry must adopt digital technologies to become more efficient. And renewables have flat cost curves, and most of their maintenance is unplanned maintenance. There is a huge potential to leverage digital to really drive the efficiencies in that place. And in general, renewables are data rich, and data is a gold mine. The advancements of big data technologies, AI, with an abundance of data and the compute power, transform many industries, and renewables are ripe for this transformation. Emerging technologies like industrial IoT, virtual reality, augmented reality are driving new innovations, new levels of productivity, and enormous opportunity in the industry. And the modern grid will be intelligent, digital, and multidirectional. Renewable integration is a huge opportunity to drive efficiencies, and new business models are emerging around distributed energy resource models, electrification, smart grids, etc. Next slide, please. And if you look at, we are on a mission to really develop innovative digital solutions based on these mega trends to deliver towards zero unplanned maintenance, efficient and high-performing fleet, with integrated commercial outcomes. Bottom line, really to drive lower life cycle costs and get more out of your assets and drive towards very efficient, high-performing fleet for you. And one of the things we are doing as part of this journey is we created this whole renewables digital ecosystem. It's a comprehensive solution designed specifically for renewable assets that includes wind, solar, and hydro. We launched digital wind farm back in 2015. We launched digital hydro plant last year and digital solar again earlier this year. And all these built on common technology platform, common product platform, and all built on predict system. That's an open innovation ecosystem that enables customers to not only co-create, co-innovate with us, at the same time leverage these innovative solutions to deliver differentiated outcomes for you. Next slide. As part of this, if I look at our digital wind farm, what you see on this slide is a comprehensive overview of our digital wind farm. It's all based on advanced analytics, artificial intelligence, and physics-based models. This will really transform the way industry thinks about life cycle costs, fleet performance, and risk sharing. We incorporated edge and cloud computing for optimal cost and performance. We leverage edge computing where we need real-time analytics and insights and actions, example, to drive the AEP increase at the farm level or at the turbine level. That's where we are really using the edge computing. That's a huge differentiating factor to deliver real-time performance for the wind fleets. And the cloud computing for more diagnostic and prognostics. And also we designed the software for different user personas across the customer value chain. And this whole digital wind farm solution set and the platform is built for both GE and non-GE. It's an integrated solution set that connects O&M, analytics and insights to energy management and commercial outcomes. The bottom line is this is where we are linking your operations and maintenance information and insights so that you can really strategize on how do you drive the bidding strategies and understanding the wind forecasting and drive the right bidding strategies. And at the same time, have the confidence about the whole energy management across the board. In this case, the operators can harness information across the entire farm to understand when a critical component like gearbox or drivetrain, other major component show any anomaly, access to actionable insight for corrective action. And if you look at today, digital wind farm is operating across about 10,000 turbines for us. And more importantly, we are actually shipping every GE turbine digital wind farm enabled right get-to-go. That drives real value right from get-go when they install the new turbines. If you look at the future, what is our next generation wind farm would look like, we are going to make this more of a self-learning system in the future. What I mean is, every wind turbine and the farm level, they will become a very intelligent nodes. So they talk to each other and drive and learn from each other and become very self-learning system. Exactly the way automotive industry is going towards autonomous vehicles. This is where I think we see huge potential, and that's how we are thinking for the vision. Next slide. Simply put, we deliver differentiated outcomes and accelerate your operational business innovations. The core innovation and investment behind our solutions is what we call digital twins. That enables you to run wind farms to the design potential for actual wind conditions. Digital twins are nothing but a virtual replica of any industrial asset. It continuously monitors and analyzes asset health. It collects the data and applies advanced analytics and AI algorithms, plus physics-based model simulations to predict, to give unique insights about its operations and performance. We also have what we call performance twins and the reliability twins to look at both the reliability aspects and the performance aspects. In some cases, we use physics-based simulations in coordinates with our digital data science models. Example is the advanced prognostics. When you see the critical components like gearbox, pitch bearing, etc., we not only look at the data science model trends and the patterns and insight, but combined with physics-based simulation like damage accumulation, remaining useful life, to predict when do you need to do maintenance so that you can extend the life of that critical component. This is a huge game changer in the industry. Next slide, please. And, all our renewable digital solutions are built on our Predix ecosystem. They're comprehensive, and it's an open innovation ecosystem. Customers can create, co-develop, and also they can develop self-service analytics. Our solutions include asset performance management, operations optimization, to really drive the productivity, AEP increase, etc. Cyber solutions to really protect from cyber attacks and threats that deliver differentiated outcomes like how do we make unplanned to planned maintenance, schedule maintenance to conditions-based maintenance, higher performing fleet, and revenue increases. And combining with our services offering, we are able to deliver lower cost, better performance, and reducing the risk. We apply a lot of machine learning and artificial intelligence-based algorithms that making your wind farm perform better tomorrow than today. So now I will have Brian talk about some of the outcomes we are delivering across our 10,000 turbines and to many customers globally. In fact, we have been working with many global customers to help them on their digital transformation journey, and we like to be your partner on your transformation journey. With that, I'll have Brian talk about more on the outcomes.
Great, thank you, Sanjeev. So as you may know, Exelon and GE partnered across our respective renewables, fossil, nuclear, and grid business units. This is what we call the Electricity Value Network, to create customer-centric applications that solve Exelon's business pain points. For their wind fleet, this meant delivering a solution that could increase the accuracy of real-time bidding, constrained by the natural intermittency of the fuel source, that's the wind. Their challenge to us was to improve under forecasting to enable Exelon to take advantage of the natural and untapped peaking power of their wind assets. In partnership with Exelon, the GE team built a scalable application that increased wind forecasting accuracy for the forward 5-minute interval that's needed by the real-time energy markets. This application allowed Exelon to increase annual energy production, or their AEP, by 1 to 3%. This is the equivalent of about 70 megawatts of net new capacity, or roughly valued at about $2 million per year fleet-wide, just through software alone. The deployment of our digitally enabled service model is a significant differentiator for us, not only in the ability to deliver unrivaled customer outcomes, but also as an internal use case of our suite of digital solutions. One of the first questions that we get from customers is, where have you done this before? So through our GE installed base, we can boast that the digital wind farm offering is deployed across our managed services fleet of nearly 11,000 wind turbines, delivering over $90 million of lower cost as a result of our diagnostics, prognostics, and turbine level analytics. With our Power Up offering, we have created 1.3 terawatt hours more of energy production, totaling more than $75 million. That's over $165 million of value creation, and we're just getting started. Our digital worker applications, also known as our digital plan of the day, is increasing the productivity of our field technicians on over 100 sites, and in early 2018, we will be releasing our enhanced digital worker 2.0 across our global fleet of wind turbines. As you can see, what we develop, we first use internally to ensure you have the highest availability fleet, generating the maximum available revenue at the lowest cost. So with that, I'd like to thank you for your time today on today's webinar. And just know that our next series of webinars will also include an in-depth look at our wind, hydro, and solar offerings. And with that, I'll turn it over to Andy for questions and answers.
Thank you, Sanjeev and Brian, for sharing with us today. Now we'll move into our Q&A time and give a chance for participants to respond. As a reminder, you can enter your questions for Brian and Sanjeev into the chat window. And we've gotten a lot of great questions already, so please keep it coming. And don't pause. Go ahead, and we'll prioritize the questions as they come in. So one of the first questions we received was, what should a customer expect to see in terms of real benefits in the first year of using GE's platform?
I'll chime in, and then Brian, please add to it. If you look at our digital wind farm, or digital hydro plant, or digital solar, let me talk about digital wind farm. Fundamentally, it addresses the reliability aspects of it, reliability management. That's where we are able to showcase with many customers how we were able to convert unplanned to planned maintenance, and thus reducing the maintenance cost up to 10%. Our operations optimization software is all about improving the availability and also really looking at the AEP increase, and also really driving the scheduling optimization. We delivered many customers up to 10% AEP increase. It all depends on the baseline where you are, but anywhere between 5 to 10% we were able to deliver the AEP increase. With our scheduling software, where we really connect our reliability, condition-based maintenance to really driving the optimization around the technician scheduling, and that drove productivity up to 10%. And our forecasting solutions, wind forecasting solution, as you heard from Brian, anywhere 2 to 3% revenue increase. And once implemented within 3 to 6 months, we are able to baseline it and really deliver real value within 1 year time. Brian, anything you want to add?
Yes, Sanjeev, I would just highlight through our digital full service agreements, we're seeing probably the greatest success right now just around enabling lowest life cycle costs, reducing risks, and increasing overall fleet performance. So that's been a great proof point for us in terms of our digital solutions, and where customers are really seeing the benefit of moving of GE taking the risk around that 65% of unplanned maintenance.
Great. We have another question that came in. Do you have a product for battery storage?
Yeah, we are working with our one of the other business units called Current and Power businesses. They do have the battery storage. Where we are looking at it is, how do you optimize the charging, etc., in connection with renewables? That's in the roadmap. Brian, maybe you have more information. We're certainly looking at the context of the hybrid model, wind, solar plus storage, and the combinations, and how do you drive really use analytics to optimize the overall performance and the battery life, and when do you charge, etc. That's what we are thinking. Brian, maybe you want to add more?
Yeah, I think the most direct answer to the question is today we don't have a specific product for battery storage, but certainly looking at hybrid opportunities. Our GE sister companies have launched a hybrid application specifically for gas turbines, so allowing for spinning reserve, essentially reducing that fuel that was being consumed for that application within the grid. So I think this is an area that has high growth. It's certainly an area that we believe is a tremendous opportunity to the future, and a lot of the business units in our research center across GE are looking heavy in this space.
So what are the key disruption events you see happening in renewables over the next 5 years?
I would say there are 2-3 things I see that one is the whole, as I said, as part of the mega trends, this artificial intelligence based solutions that really drive significant efficiency renewables to the grid integration is a huge opportunity. I see that more and more renewable assets has a potential to become a self-learning system, and with that, integration with the modern grid is going to be critical so that you can drive the efficiencies on both sides. That has a huge potential. The other areas we see it is, complete virtual reality and augmented reality combined with industrial IoT application like digital wind farm could drive significant efficiencies across the board. The other emerging models that could emerge is the whole virtual power plant or transactive energy platform. With that, I think what could happen is where some of the corporate off-takers like Microsoft or Amazon could directly connect to renewable assets. In that case, right, if you look at the digital and the AI-based applications really drive huge opportunity in really dynamically balancing and delivering the firm power from renewables to those kind of corporate off-takers. So bottom line, I think, how AI-based applications and the grid integration and potentially new business models around the transactive energy platform, we see that's going to emerge pretty fast, and combined with storage.
Another great question. Digital IoT sounds great, and there seems to be a lot of competition in this space. What differentiates GE?
There's, if you look at our digital wind farm or hydro or solar, we have the foundational, what we call it, asset performance management software that basically enables you to connect, get the data fabric to do the diagnostic analytics and all that. Where we are really differentiating is advanced analytics, predictive and prognostics around what I described as digital twins. The other key differentiator for us is edge computing. We are really optimizing the performance and the cost on where we do edge computing, where we do cloud computing. As I said, especially in the wind farms or the hydro plants or the solar farms, we see that edge computing has a huge potential and opportunity. We are already putting a lot of applications at the edge so that you can do real-time analytics. And then, for prognostics on the cloud. So the edge computing, digital twins, and more of predictive analytics is that's where we are combining all that data science competency in the advanced analytics with our physics-based models, combining with the domain. That's where we are driving the real outcomes to the customers.
Okay, we have another question that came in. How will digital help reduce the reliance on coal and non-renewable sources?
I think if you look at overall, right, the renewable assets, growing at a very fast pace, it's becoming very cost competitive, and I think, but where we need to really improve is how do we make sure this power generation is firm power and reliable power to the grid. That's where we see that the more efficient it becomes on how it integrates with the grid, understanding the demand side, then renewables become much more reliable, firm power to the grid, and then the reliance on thermal will be down. And more importantly, if you look at the overall cost structure of renewables, will become, less than operating costs of thermal. That's where the trends have seen happening. That's where many companies like, European customers like Enel is thinking, and that's what they are driving it. But, we need to make renewables, really take advantage of all this data and analytics-based software to really make it very efficient, both on the performance and the reliability, so that it becomes much more firm power.
So we have another question here. What are some of the ways customers are selling predicts internally into their teams, and what outcomes are most resonant?
As I said, all our digital solutions, are built on the Predix platform and the ecosystem. When I say ecosystem, it's not just, Predix fundamentally gives you, it's a edge to cloud architecture. It has the edge computing and the connectivity, and then the data fabric and the applications on top of it. So we completely leverage Predix ecosystem to build our renewable digital solutions. So our focus is really leverage everything Predix offers so that it becomes very open innovation ecosystem, and then enable customer to do data monetization, etc. And we build on top of it, and where we focus more is around the really developing advanced analytics algorithms and really combining with the physics and the domain to deliver the real differentiated outcomes. And that's how we are leveraging. That's how every industry within GE is leveraging, whether it's renewables or power or aviation, healthcare, etc. So that's how we are creating and really leverage across the board.
And I would just add, Sanjeev, a number of our customers globally have existing infrastructure that they're operating their fleets off of. And the intent of certainly the investments that we've been making within Predix, as well as the specific analytics and applications that we're delivering for customers, is intended to be complementary to those systems. So for those customers who have made those investments within their IT infrastructure, we can come in and connect and adapt and work seamlessly with their systems. For those customers that have not invested in that sector, then we can come in and provide a full complement of solutions. So there's a strong plug-and-play opportunity depending upon where customers have selected to make their investments within the digital space.
All right, looks like we have time for one more question. Does GE believe in blockchain technology, and is it a part of Predix?
Absolutely. We are exploring blockchain technology for many applications within GE. It will have an integration to Predix. Where we see big opportunity is in the energy transactions. I think more and more with the distributed energy resources becoming mega trend, I think blockchain has huge opportunity on the energy trading and the integrations, etc. So we absolutely see that. We have what we call it electricity value network, where we look at the digital solutions from all power generations to transmission, distribution to prosumers. If you look at across, we are creating an integrated solution set. What you heard is just a renewables piece today, but on the power generation like thermal, nuclear, etc., and the grid software. If you look at our roadmap, blockchain has absolutely part of our roadmap, and we see that as the new business models emerge, it has a huge potential.
Great, so it looks like we're just about out of time. Thank you to all of our participants today, as well as our speakers, Sanjeev and Brian. If you have any additional questions that weren't answered today and would like to learn more, please look out in your email inbox tomorrow for more information on how to connect. Thank you again, and I hope you have a great day.